So let us talk to the man who promotes a lot of those guys, the great Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy himself. Please, welcome. Welcome to our studio here, Oscar. It's great to see you.
We don't muck
You're
around,
looking fantastic.
I feel great, man. Yeah, I feel great. It's really nice to be here in New York, and I wasn't gonna get into it a little bit more.
Yeah.
I had a speech written down, everything beautiful, but then these guys weren't really.
Yeah, what was up with that? What did you make of that? It was somewhat subdued, right?
Respect.
Yeah.
There's a lot of respect, but you know what? I actually like it because it's brewing. It's brewing. May 2nd. Woo, man. May 2nd is going to be a good one. I mean, Ryan Garcia coming back. We need Ryan Garcia in boxing.
Amen.
We just do. That's it. And so I'm glad he's back.
You have 3 fighters on this card, on this very small 3-fight explosive card. Can I ask you about Ryan Garcia? Because when I watch him up there and I compare him to the guy in April of last year in Brooklyn, this is a completely different human being. He seems a lot more at peace, like almost Zen-like, if you will. Can you describe the difference between him and almost a year ago?
Yeah, it's Zen-like, exactly. I think that Ryan Garcia had a lot to think about. Not fighting, not training. In between these fights, look, you reflect on your life. You reflect on what you did in your past, and how can I get better? How can I improve in certain areas? He did a lot of work, and I'm happy for him. I'm proud of him because it's not easy being a champion, not easy being a fighter at this caliber, carrying the sport of boxing on his back. It's a lot of pressure. So the fact that Ryan Garcia's back, he's subdued a bit, but I like that because, man, once he comes out May 2nd, we're going to see a beast.
Can I pick one little bone with this card?
Sure.
One small. I want to see Garcia Haney too. I'm worried that if something can happen, slip on the bed. Why didn't we do Garcia Haney 2 on May 2nd?
Well,
Good question.
it's a good question, but look, Devin Haney doesn't want to come back against Ryan Garcia after getting knocked out. It's not in the manual book of promoting fights or it's not in the fighter's manual book. Where after you get knocked out, you fight the same guy again. Like, you have to have an in-between fight to get your confidence back, for Devin to make sure that he's okay, because what if Ramirez pops him with a shot and he wobbles and he gets knocked out? That can happen. So I think
would be a disaster.
It would be a disaster. And I think that Devin wanted to test the waters against Ramirez, thinking that Ramirez is not dangerous, but guess what? He is dangerous.
I think it was Dougie that kind of pointed out the 3 superstars on the stage, right?
Okay.
He said Devin, he said Ryan, he said Teofimo, and I think that's fair. I look at Arnold Barbosa.
Yeah.
And I almost see an emerging superstar
Yeah.
that's almost come through the shadows. Obviously, he was with Top Rank for a long time.
Sure.
You guys took him. And I've been lucky enough to be in his last 2 fights against Jose Ramirez and Jack Cattrall. You have a superstar there.
Yeah.
You have a superstar who I think could cause a bit of a problem to Teofimo Lopez. You know that they have plans and then plans and then plans. I look at Arnold Barbosa, I'm like, you don't do a plan with Arnold Barbosa in the room.
Right.
Because I feel like he's going to stop a lot of plans.
No, he's a fighter who is serious, a fighter who is taking care of business. When we started promoting him after Top Rank got him to a certain spot and couldn't get him that world title shot, we came back and said, look, we promised him, hey, you're going to fight this guy, that guy, you're going to fight for a world title, and we accomplished that in a short period of time. He's happy where he's at. His reflexes are on point. He's coming off a great win overseas, taking that world title, so his confidence levels are up. I think that Barbosa is the sleeper on this card. I think Barbosa can cause some damage. I believe Barbosa can figure out Teofimo and most likely pull out an upset.
Wow.
And it would be an upset because a lot of people are picking Teofimo to win.
Yep.
So I think Barbosa, he's the sleeper here. I think Barbosa is gonna do some damage.
You've promoted so many big shows, right? I mean, you fought on so many big shows. I mean, you are Mr. Golden Boy himself. When you hear Times Square, when you hear a ring erected in Times Square and then shutting down the biggest, I don't know, millions of people walking around, they're going to shut that down on a Friday. What do you think when you hear that? Do you almost feel like that's impossible? Like when I heard it, I thought it was impossible.
I didn't think it was impossible because of Times Square being shut down for New Year's Eve.
Okay.
So it's very possible to shut it down, but a boxing event, how do we manage that? How do we manage putting a ring in the middle of the street in Times Square? Obviously, it takes a lot of influence. It takes a lot of money.
Yes.
And obviously, Turkey El-Sheikh, His Excellency, made that happen with the city. So thank you, New York, for making this happen. Thank you, Turkey El-Sheikh. Thank you, Salah Sports and Dr. Rakan. But obviously, the fighters are going to make this event happen and talked about for many years to come. When they step inside that ring and they fight their heart off, okay, the fight fans will emerge. The fight fans will come out in the masses. We're expecting 500,000 people just watching in Times Square. It's going to be incredible.
Do you have any idea how this is all going to work as far as ticket sales and things like that? How are they going to do this?
It'll be roped off for just a couple of hundred people.
Wow.
But everything,
like a golden ticket.
Yeah, it's like a golden ticket. I mean,
Dang.
I'm going to search for my golden
Willy
ticket
Wonka
wherever I
style.
can. Yeah, so Willy Wonka style. Yeah, Turkey El-Sheikh style.
Can I ask you
The
before we let
platinum
you go,
ticket.
because I do know you have to go. The city is still buzzing over what transpired this past Saturday in Brooklyn, just a few miles from here with Tank Davis. You've been in the sport for a very long time. Can I ask your opinion on that controversy?
Yeah.
Should that have been a knockdown? Should it have been a 10-8 round? Should he have been disqualified for the towel on his face? What's your take on what transpired there?
Well, look, in any sport, you can take a timeout, right? You can, in football, hey, timeout. Basketball, wait, oh my, I have something in my eye, timeout.
Yeah.
Not in boxing. And there's 3 minutes for a reason. There's a referee for a reason. If you go by the rules and what the rules are in New York, then that should be a point because he took a knee, right? That should be an automatic point. You go to your corner, you're taking time off, and that should be an automatic point. So I thought the decision was okay. I think the decision was a draw was okay. The fight was an even fight. It was a great fight. I think Lamont Roach did a terrific job. And look, Javante Davis is a great fighter.
Yeah.
He is a great fighter, but he met his match, Lamont Roach. So if I go by what had happened by the book, right, and the rules, then Lamont Roach should have won because a point should have been taken off of Javante Davis. But who knows what the commission's going to do.
Yeah, let's see. Oscar, you're the man. Glad no clapbacks here. We don't want that smoke.
No,
okay?
no clapbacks
I saw you going
here.
after
No,
Joe
you guys
Rogan
were
recently.
cool. You
We
guys
don't
were
want that
cool.
smoke.
No, you guys were cool. Whoever claps back at me, you're making clapback Thursday.
Okay, well, we want none of that smoke.
No.
Thank you so much, Oscar. You're the man. Thank you. You're the man.
Thank you, brother.
We appreciate that. And, of course, we know that Golden Boy has a big fight coming up this Thursday right here on DAZN. It's another busy week of boxing action. Thursday, Golden Boy. We've got MVP on Friday in Toronto. I will scooch over. By the way, what about Sergio Pettis, former Bellator and UFC fighter, fighting in a boxing match in India on Friday right here on DAZN? Did you know that?
Happens. No, I did not.
Look at that one, just sandwiched in between.
I was like, is that a print? I was like, is that an error?
That is
Like,
Sergio
what's going
Pettis
on?
right there, coming to you live from India. A little something for everyone all week long right here on DAZN.